Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another Rise of Heroes video for you, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be giving you a breakdown of the Ammit Boss Tower. This is probably the most requested video that I've gotten since I started creating content for this game. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of different things. We're going to show you a very easy free-to-play team that you can put together that will help you start progressing in the Ammit Tower, and then also help you consistently farm floor 7, because 7 is, again, like the magic floor that you want to aim for. And then we'll also touch on some units that will help you progress further through the later stages of the Ammit Tower, and then help you consistently farm floor 10. So first, let's dive into what this boss actually does. So if we go over to the strategy info here, the first thing that we can see is that he's immune to control effects. So you're not going to be able to stun this boss, so keep that in mind when you're going for him. Don't try to build like a stun lock team. It's just not going to work. So the counter info that is listed here, it suggests having heroes with group armor boost, attack reduction, and group recovery. And then have heroes with group speed boost, move up, and slow. So what this, basically what happens is the Ammit boss does all AoE attacks, so every single one of his attacks is going to hit your entire team. And he has two little minions on the side, and one of them, the left one there, does an attack boost. So it gives the boss 3 rounds of attack boost, so you either need a buff block or you need a way to strip that. And then the right one, it's not listed here, but I believe what the right one does is it gives an armor reduction to your team. So you need to either have a cleanser on your team, or just be able to have enough defense up and heals to be able to deal with that. So that's what this boss does. Now in terms of what he drops Seed, Fire, Lightning, Thorn, and Rapids gems. So some pretty good sets in here. Rapids especially, a lot of your support units are going to want a 4-piece set of Rapids because that will just give them a lot more speed and make them take turns faster. So you're definitely going to be farming this boss quite a bit for Rapids gems. Now, the reason why we say floor 7 is kind of like the magic floor, especially for the Ammit boss tower here, if you can't farm floor 7, you're better off farming nightmare scenarios to get the gems that you want. Because on floors like 5 and 6, you can still get 3-star gem drops, and because it's one of those 5 sets that will randomly drop, you can't kind of like target the gems you want to go for. But if you can get through nightmare scenarios of the Oasis, Desert, Cave, and Mountain range, which are the first 4 locations, you'll be able to get 4 out of the 5 gem sets that the Ammit boss drops. Because the Oasis drops Seed, Desert drops Fire, Cave drops Lightning, and Mountain range drops Rapids gems. So again, if you can't farm floor 7, you're better off farming nightmare scenarios, stages 1 through 4, to get the 4-star gems that you need, and then you can start pushing on floor 7. Once you can get floor 7 down, floor 7 no longer drops 3-star gems, and it will drop 4-star and 5-star gems only. I've never personally seen it drop a 6-star gem, so I don't know if it's possible. If you've had it happen before, if the 7th floor has dropped a 6-star gem for you, let us know down in the comments. But just even if it doesn't drop 6-star gems and you only get 4 and 5-star gems, that's still way better than farming your scenarios. Because picking up a 5-star gem that goes in slot 4, 5, or 6 that can have a percentage main stat is going to be a huge damage boost or a health boost over a 4-star gem. So in terms of the actual team, we're going to go into floor 7 here. Now this is my floor 10 team, so we just have to give me a second to switch some things around here. So, we're going to look at each unit individually and then highlight what it does and what it brings to the table here. So the first unit that we are going to look at here is Meg. Meg is a pretty standard unit throughout a lot of boss towers. She is a phenomenal unit. If you've played Summoner's War, I have not. I've been told that she is Bernard from Summoner's War. So if that helps you, there you go. But if you're not familiar with Summoner's War, then we'll just take a quick look at her abilities here. So the main thing that she brings to the table is her 3rd skill here. She moves your entire team's action bar up by 30% and then gives your entire team 2 rounds of speed boost. This is huge. You're able to take so many more turns than the boss. Means you're able to control the boss a lot better and get more damage out before the boss can have a turn to hit you back. If you're able to get her aura up, you can get some extra crit rate on your team as well. And she is a farmable unit, so getting her aura up is not super difficult. It's just a little time consuming, but it's an aura that is farmable, so that makes it worth investing in. Her second skill here puts an attack and armor reduction on the boss for 2 turns. This is great that both of these debuffs come from the same unit. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that she's got a fair bit of accuracy so that she can land both of these debuffs. And then her first skill here is just a generic damage attack. You're not really going to be using her as a DPS unit, but it does do more damage based off of her speed attribute, and speed is the main stat that you want to be stacking on her. So like we can see here, my Meg has 191 speed, so she's pretty quick. I can definitely get her a lot faster though, but her damage on that first attack is going to be buffed based on her 191 speed. As far as gem sets go, I have mine on a Rapids and Accuracy set, so Rapids and Hawkeye. Obviously Rapids to give her that extra speed, and the Hawkeye set to give her that little bit of extra accuracy for her second skill debuffs. For the slots here, I've got HP percentage in slot 4. I really need to get this upgraded here. She's been running a 3-star gem for so long, but she does work, and she's only at rank 5. In slot 5 here, I've got a 6-star HP percentage gem, and then in slot 6, I've got a 6-star speed gem in there. So those are the main stats that you want to look for. You want to be able to make her fast, and then just keep her alive as long as possible. Oh, I should also mention where you can actually farm her. So if you go to the desert, I believe it is, yes. If you go to the desert and you go to the 6th stage, I really hope this is right. Yes, if you go to the 6th stage, you can farm her from the hidden tile there. The only trick here is that you have to bring an entire team of undead units, and they all have to survive those first 2 battles. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have a super strong undead roster, try doing this on medium or even normal. It's only 5 energy to run through this on normal, and you get 10 meg shards every time you clear it. So it's a decent way to farm her. A little bit slower, but she's an amazing unit, so however you can farm her is pretty much the best way to pick her up. So let's just head back into the Ammit Tower here. Of course, I have to rearrange my team. There we go. All right, so going forward, the next unit that we're going to look at here is Cabot. Cabot is a phenomenal unit. Cabot brings a lot to the table, especially with this boss as well. So the main thing that Cabot does on his 3rd skill here gives 3 rounds of attack and armor boost to your entire team. This is huge. You're only going to be using 1 healer on this team. So being able to have a defense boost that lasts for 3 turns is going to be huge when it comes to surviving the AoE attacks from the boss. Cabot's 2nd skill also has a chance to apply a slow. That goes up when you skill him up, and then based off of your accuracy as well. Slow is super useful here. If you can slow the Ammit Boss, he's going to take fewer turns than you, so you have less hits from him to worry about. And then Cabot's 1st skill also has a chance to apply a blind, which is a nice little bonus there. In terms of gem sets, I've got my Cabot on a Rapid and Seed set. This is going to be pretty common throughout the rest of this team here. So I've got Cabot on a Rapid and Seed set. On slots 4 and 5, I've got HP percentage. You can also go accuracy percentage on slot 5 if you need the extra accuracy. And then I've got speed on slot 6. Again, you want to make Cabot as fast as possible because Cabot is a support unit. You can farm skill ups for Cabot in the Oasis. It's 1-5. So the 5th stage in the Oasis has the obelisk path. You can hit 3 obelisks and then hit the final boss. You'll get a bunch of Usul shards. And because Usul and Cabot are both genies, you can use Usuls to help skill up your Cabot. So Cabot is super easy to get all of his skills maxed out really, really fast. The next unit that we're going to look at is your healer. Skarlag is the only healer on this team, and even with the poor quality gems that I have on my Skarlag here, he can still solo heal this entire team, and this team can kill Ammit 100% on floor 7. So, Skarlag, like I said, he is your healer. This skill here restores at most 40% HP for all allies. That is 40% because he's awakened. When he is unawakened, it's 25%. And then when you skill him up, you can get that recovery buffed as well. So all the way up to 60% for your entire team. And the caveat here is the more allies that are alive on your team, the more this is going to heal for. So you want to be able to keep your entire team alive, and Skarlag's healing the most when your entire team is alive just plays into that. So he's going to help keep your team alive for a good length of time. His second skill here does an armor reduction. It also does extra damage based on his armor. So if you've got some armor and some substats, he's going to help do a little bit more damage, but he is mainly a support unit. And then his first attack here has a 40% chance to inflict an attack reduction as well. So this is really, really nice. He's got attack and armor reduction, two buffs that are almost essential when it comes to taking on bosses. In terms of gems, I again have him on a Rapid and Seed set. For slot 6, I have him with HP percentage. Ideally, you want speed here. I just didn't have a Rapids gem to put here. A Rapids gem with speed main. So he's got HP percentage there. For his second slot, in slot 5, it's also got HP percentage. And then in slot 4, he's got armor percentage here. Ideally, you would want this to be HP. But like I said, he's not super optimally gemmed, but he still survives and gets the job done. To farm skill ups for him, you can farm them in the cave, which is the 3rd location. And again, just find the obelisk path in there, which should be number 4 here. It's got, just want to make sure that, nope, I was wrong. It is the mountain range. My apologies. You want to go to the mountain range, stage number 3. And you'll be able to get lots of Skarlag shards there, and you'll be able to skill him up really easily. Alright, the next unit that we are going to look at here is Czar. Czar is your stripper. So what we mean by stripper is he is your unit that is going to remove the buff from the boss. So one of the boss's minions gives the boss an attack buff. Czar is going to be able to remove that buff. So Czar has a passive that every time he attacks, he clears 1 buff from the target. And if it's successful, he's also going to restore 10% HP to himself. So he's got a little bit of survivability here with this passive. His first skill has a chance to inflict armor reduction and does extra damage based off of his own max HP. And then his second attack does an attack reduction and again does extra damage based off of his own max HP. So again, super, super handy that this unit has both attack and armor reduction. So on this team alone, you have 3 units that can all apply attack and armor reduction. So it is very, very likely that those debuffs are going to be up on the boss like 100% of the time. In terms of his gems, I have him gemmed on a speed and accuracy set, so Rapids and Hawkeye. In slots 4 and 5, I've got him with HP percentage main. Again, if you want a little bit more accuracy to help the strip land, you can go accuracy here if you want instead of HP percentage. And then in slot 6, I've got a speed gem here. Again, because he's your stripper, you want him to be taking turns as fast as possible so that you can get the buff off of the boss before the boss attacks with it. So, last but not least, you need a damage unit. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using Prince Bashik because you pick him up very early on, and he is a pretty good damage unit to use here. All of his attacks are AoE, so that also makes clearing the 4 waves of trash mobs up to the boss that much faster because he's going to damage everybody. But honestly, you can just replace Prince Bashik with any damage unit that you've got. So if you've pulled like a really good 5-star, like I've got Brother Ping in my roster, or even Lancelot, or whoever you've got, if you've got a really solid damage unit, you can replace them with Prince Bashik here. But again, we're going to use him just because he is free to play and he's given to you super early on. Now, I have my Bashik gemmed to be my farmer right now, so he's still got a blood and HP set on. But he still does enough damage to help take down the boss. It's just going to be a little slower than if that blood set was a fire set. So just keep that in mind when we actually show the kill. It'll be a little bit faster if you've got him gemmed as an attacker rather than a farmer for survivability. But Prince Bashik is a really, really good damage unit. Like I said, all of his attacks are AoE. So this first skill attacks 1 enemy 3 times and then hits everybody on the final swipe. And then this skill here does damage to the entire team, and it also has 30% life leech on its own. So again, Prince Bashik has a little bit of sustainability in his kit already, which is super awesome. If you get him awakened the second time, you pick up this extra ability called Leader's Heart. So it increases the damage dealt to undead units by 15%. Floor 7 is not undead though. Floor 7 is abyssal or dark, so that's not going to apply here. But each round, one debuff is consumed. So if you start the turn and Bashik has the armor reduction buff on him, then he is going to remove that from himself. So you don't have to worry about bringing a cleanser. So this team actually does not use a cleanser at all. It just relies on Cabot to keep the armor buff up on your entire team, and Scarlag to keep the entire team alive. Scarlag can get through his heals really quickly, especially when you've got Meg on your team, giving speed up and or like moving your turn bar up and giving you a speed up buff. Scarlag is firing off those heals really quickly, so he's able to keep your entire team alive. So we're going to take a look at this team in action. I'm going to cut through the trash mobs, and then we'll be right back. Alrighty, so here comes the boss. So we're going to take a look at this team in action here. So Meg starting off with the speed buff, and Cabot giving the defense up to the entire team is a great way to start this off. Meg also landed the attack and armor reduction, and we just got the slow there from Cabot. So this team is basically starting off as perfect as you can ask for. Again, Meg with the speed up buff there, it's just, she makes your team just go so fast and make your team take so many extra turns. It's really awesome what she brings to this team. Not only to the Ammit boss, but to a lot of other bosses in general. So there was Scarlag's first heal, that healed the entire team all the way back up to full. Again, that is a heal for 60% of their health bar. So Scarlag is just a phenomenal unit. And right there, even before Czar stripped the attack buff off the boss, you saw how little damage that AoE attack did to the entire team. Even though the boss had the attack up buff, Cabot was able to help the team take way less damage because of the defense buff that he put up on the team. And there we go, we got Czar removing the attack buff again, Scarlag coming in with a heal, and now this team is just going to finish up here, and we'll be good to go. The nice thing here is that since this is a dark boss, all the units that we use on this team here don't have don't have class disadvantage, so even your support units like Czar and Scarlag are still going to do a fair bit of damage, so it's not like Prince Bashik has to do all of the damage himself. So there you go. That is Ammit floor 7 down, and we just got a 5-star Rapids gem that has accuracy percentage main. So that is a pretty good gem to pick up, especially if you're starting to farm this boss. If this is one of the first gems that you get, that's a really good gem to help out your team. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a quick moment to just show you a couple of other units that are going to be really helpful in getting the last few stages of the Ammit boss down and then helping you consistently farm floor 10. The main unit that is like insane for most bosses is Ali. He just makes a lot of bosses really easy. It's mainly his third skill here. He does 6 attacks, and each attack will land a bleed if it's a crit. So, bleeds do damage based off of the boss's max HP or whatever target they're landed on. So, being able to apply 6 stacks of bleed on a boss is going to do so much damage. And his basic attack also has a chance to put a bleed as well. The other thing that makes Ali really insane is that his second skill here, that's on a 3-round cooldown. If you get it skilled up all the way, it's only 2 rounds. Is he attacks twice, and each attack will delay their action by 25%. So you can basically remove half the boss's turn meter, and he's just going to take way less turns. And then if you combo that with a slow debuff from like Cabot, then it's just going to fill up that much slower, and you'll probably be able to get to a state where you can just lock the boss down. So the other unit that really helps with locking the boss down is Hannah. Ali and Hannah combined just absolutely destroy Ammit 10, not only just because of the slows and the bleeds, but these units also have type advantage against floor 10. because floor 10 is Feral, and Ali and Hannah are Civ, and a lot of the units that we looked at, like Meg, Cabot, they're Civ, so they're going to have type advantage against floor 10, so it just makes it that much easier. Hannah has a passive. Every one attack delays target's movement by 25%. After each hit, there's a 20% chance to trigger an extra hit. So she just, every time she goes, she just removes the boss's turn meter. She's absolutely insane for locking down the Ammit Boss. She can pretty much lock him down by herself, and then the rest of your team can just jump in and pile on the damage. Another unit that I find really useful against Ammit 10 is Lancelot. I have my Lancelot conjured. You can only get him through the conjure summon mechanic. But if you're able to pick him up there, he is definitely worth it. He is a phenomenal unit, and he does a lot of damage. His second and third attack do damage based off of the enemy's max HP. And again, Lancelot being Civ and floor 10 being Feral, he's going to have type advantage. He's going to hit really, really hard. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions about the Ammit Boss, or if you've pulled some units and you're wondering if you can use them against him, if they'd be a good fit, feel free to let me know down in the comments, and I will do my best to go through those and get back to you. But that is going to do it for this video. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.